AITA for quietly moving on after my girlfriend said we broke up months ago. My girlfriend would tell me she loved me at night, but by day, she presented herself as single. The worst part was, everyone believed her. I do not even know where to begin. It is 3 a.m. I am sitting in my car because I cannot bring myself to go back to our place. What I found out today has completely turned my world upside down. I am 28 years old. I work as a night security guard downtown and am finishing my degree in criminal justice at the university. I make about $42,000 a year. It is not a huge amount, but I know how to manage my money well. My girlfriend, Selena, and I have been together for 6 years. She works part-time at a boutique and earns around $18,000 a year. We have lived together for 3 years, and I am the one who pays the rent, the bills, and most of our shared expenses since I earn more. Selena has always been very sociable. She goes out with her friends on Friday nights and takes weekend trips to visit her sister. I am more of a homebody between work and school, but I always supported her social life. I trusted her completely. Yesterday, I was scrolling through Instagram when I stumbled upon something incomprehensible. A mutual friend, Casey, had posted photos from a birthday party last weekend. In the background of one of them, Selena was clearly visible, kissing a guy I had never seen before. She was wearing the dress she had bought last month, supposedly for a weekend getaway with her college friends. I sent a message to Casey. Hey man, was Selena at JC's party last weekend? I thought she went away with her college friends. His response hit me like a ton of bricks. My friend, I thought you two broke up months ago. She has been hanging out with Tristan everywhere since February. Are you guys back together? Broke up months ago. Who is this Tristan? I live with her. I sleep next to her. I pay our bills, and apparently, everyone thinks we broke up in February. I called Casey immediately. Casey, what do you mean we broke up? We live together. We were together last Tuesday when you stopped by the house. Oh my God, Caleb. Selena has been telling everyone you two broke up in February. She said it was mutual, that you were just figuring out the roommate situation, but that she was single and seeing other people. We did not break up. We were planning a trip for next month. No break, no breakup, nothing. After hanging up, I spent hours scouring social media like a detective. For the past 3 months, every time Selena said she was going out with friends or visiting her sister, she was with this Tristan guy. Photos of them at restaurants, at concerts, looking like a real couple while I was working the night shift, convinced she was just with her friends. But what truly crushed me was something else. She looked happier in those photos than she had with me in months. It was as if she was living a parallel life, one where I simply did not exist. I also found something that made my blood boil. Selena was active on dating apps, using photos from our own relationship. Pictures from our trips, but with me carefully cropped out of the frame. A photo from our mountain weekend last fall no longer showed me. It was just her on the trail with the caption, I love exploring new places. You could be by my side. She was using our relationship as promotional material to find my replacement, all while lying to everyone about our situation. I had been sitting in this parking lot for 2 hours, trying to process it all. How long had she been planning this? How long have I been some kind of joke to our mutual friends? How long have I been paying the rent, bills, and groceries for someone who was telling everyone she was single? She is supposed to get back tomorrow night from her so-called weekend with college friends, which I now realize was most likely a romantic getaway with Tristan. I have no idea how to confront her about this without completely losing my cool. Update 1. I decided to use her weekend away to take back control of my life and figure out exactly what I was dealing with. The first thing I did was call her sister, Kendra. Selena and I had always gotten along well with Kendra. She had been to our place several times. She knew we lived together and seemed to like me. I figured if anyone was going to tell me the truth about what Selena was saying, it would be her. Kendra, it is Caleb. I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. Hey Caleb, what is going on? Has Selena mentioned anything about us breaking up? There was a long silence. Why do you ask? Because I just found out she has been telling our mutual friends we broke up months ago, and I am trying to understand how far this lie has gone. Oh my God, Caleb, this is so awkward. Just tell me the truth, Kendra, please. She told me and our mom that you two broke up in February because you were being too possessive and controlling of her social life. She said you would not let her go out with her friends and that you made her feel trapped. I almost dropped my phone. Possessive? Kendra, I have never tried to control her social life. I have always encouraged her to go out. I even pay for her Uber when she goes drinking so she does not have to worry about getting home. I know it sounds weird, but she said you were fighting a lot and that you threatened to kick her out if she did not stop seeing her friends. That is a complete fabrication. We do not fight, and I have never threatened to kick her out. We live together, we share expenses, we sleep in the same bed every night. How does she explain that? She said you were still sorting out the living situation, but that she was looking for her own place. It was insane. Selena had created an entire fictional narrative where I was the controlling boyfriend she had bravely freed herself from, when in reality, I was supporting her financially and emotionally while she was cheating on me and lying to everyone about our relationship. Kendra, she is lying to you. We are together. We always have been. Yesterday morning, before she left, she told me she loved me. None of this makes any sense. She asked our mom for money to help with rent, saying that living with her ex was not working out. And there it was. Selena was telling her family she needed financial help because her living situation was unstable, while I was paying 100% of our rent and expenses. She was double-dipping, getting money from me and from her family, all while lying about our status. After hanging up with Kendra, I called my friend Miles from work. Miles went through a tough divorce and is very down-to-earth about relationship issues. Miles, I need your help with something, and I need you to not ask too many questions until I have explained everything. What is going on, brother? Selena has been cheating on me and lying about our relationship for months. She is out of town until tomorrow night, and I need to get my stuff and cut all ties before she gets back. Oh, what do you need? Help moving and a place to stay for a few days while I figure out my housing situation. You got it. When do we start? I spent the rest of Saturday methodically disentangling myself from Selena's life. I took pictures of the entire apartment for documentation. I packed up all my belongings and moved them to Miles's place. I took my name off the lease. Luckily, it was month to month, so I only had to give 30 days notice. I canceled all the utilities in my name: electricity, gas, internet, and cable. I called the landlord to explain that I was moving out and would no longer be responsible for any damages or rent after that date. I also went to the bank and closed our joint account, transferring my money to a new account at a different bank. That account had about $800 in it that I deposited for shared expenses, so it was not like I was taking anything that was truly hers. The hardest part was dealing with our dog, Ranger. Technically, he is mine. I adopted him before Selena and I lived together. He is microchipped in my name, and I pay all his vet bills. But Selena adores him, and I knew taking him would hurt her. Still, I could not leave him with someone who had been lying to me for months and might forget to take care of him once the drama started. By Sunday night, it was as if I had never lived there. All my furniture, clothes, books, kitchenware, even my plants. Everything was gone. I left her things untouched, but I removed anything that belonged to me or that I had paid for. The apartment looked completely different with only her possessions in it. I wrote a short note and left it on the kitchen counter. Selena, I know about Tristan. I know about the lies you have been telling everyone about our breakup. I know about the dating apps. We are done. Do not contact me again. The utilities will be shut off on Monday since they were in my name. The landlord knows I am gone. Your share of the rent for this month is paid, but after that, it is your responsibility. Caleb. I left my keys on top of the note, took one last look around, and walked out. This morning, I got a call from Kendra. Hey, Caleb. Selena called me crying, asking if I could send her money to pay the electricity bill. She said her roommate moved out overnight and left her with all the bills. Should I send it to her? No. Kendra, do not send her any money. She is 26 years old, and she has been lying to you about our relationship for months. It is time she learned to support herself. But what if she cannot pay the rent? Then she will have to find a cheaper place or move back in with family. That is not my problem anymore, and it should not be yours either. Selena has been calling and texting me nonstop since she got back last night, but I have blocked her number. She has tried calling from other numbers, but I do not answer calls I do not recognize. I know she is probably panicking because her whole little system has fallen apart. But honestly, that is what happens when you try to live a double life. She wanted to be single so badly that she convinced everyone she was. Now she can actually be single and take on all the responsibilities that come with it. I am going to stay at Miles's for another week while I look for a new place. It feels strange to be starting over at 28, but it is also liberating. For the first time in years, I am only responsible for my own bills and my own choices. More updates will follow as the situation develops. Update 2. Things have escalated significantly since my last update, and I am genuinely shocked by the level of desperation and manipulation Selena has resorted to now that she has lost her safety net. First, let me tell you about her return from her weekend trip. Miles has a security camera in his apartment complex's parking lot. On Sunday night, around 11 p.m., we saw Selena's car pull in. She sat there for about 20 minutes before getting out and starting to wander around the buildings, trying to figure out which apartment was Miles's. We watched from the window as she tried calling my phone repeatedly, pacing back and forth in the parking lot. Eventually, she gave up and left, but not before leaving a note on Miles's car. "Caleb, please call me. We need to talk. This is all a huge misunderstanding." Monday morning, I went to my supervisor at work and explained that I was going through a delicate personal situation and might need heightened security in case my ex-girlfriend tried to contact me at my workplace. My supervisor was understanding and said he would be on the lookout. Thank goodness I did, because on Tuesday night around 2 a.m., during my night rounds, Selena showed up at the office complex where I work. I was making my rounds when I got an alert that someone had entered the parking lot. The security cameras captured everything. Selena walked straight to the main entrance and started banging violently on the glass doors, trying to get my attention. When I did not respond, she went back to her car and sat there with the engine running for over an hour. I called my supervisor and the building's security team, who reviewed the footage the next morning. Seeing her like that on the cameras, desperate and unstable, highlighted just how little I truly knew the person I had lived with for 6 years. What disturbed me the most was the calculated nature of her approach. She knew my work schedule, knew I would be alone, and knew I could not just abandon my post. She was trying to force a confrontation in a place where I had no easy way to escape or avoid her. On Wednesday, I got a text from Casey. "Hey man, Selena came by my place asking if I knew where you were living. She was crying and saying you abandoned her and took everything. Is that true?" I called Casey and explained the whole situation. The lies about the breakup, the financial manipulation, and the double life. His response was exactly what I needed to hear. "Oh my God, Caleb. I had no idea. The way she talked about your breakup made it sound so mutual, like you had both moved on. She never mentioned you were still living together and that you were paying the rent. What exactly did she tell you when she came over?" "She said you two had a fight, that you left without warning, took all the furniture, and left her with bills she could not pay. She asked if she could crash on my couch for a few days to get back on her feet. And what did you tell her?" I said no. "After what you told me about the lies and the cheating, I am not getting involved in that drama." Casey was not the only one she tried to manipulate. Over the next few days, I received messages from several mutual friends saying Selena had contacted them with different versions of the same story, that I had abandoned her suddenly, left her with all the bills, and taken furniture that was ours, not just mine. What she did not count on was these people checking the story with me. Everyone who reached out got the full, verified version of events, including screenshots of her dating app profiles and pictures of her with Tristan. The reaction was unanimous. No one wanted to get involved in helping someone who had been lying and cheating for months. On Thursday morning, Kendra called me. "Caleb, I have to tell you something about Selena, something I think you need to know." "What is it?" "She came to stay at my place last night because she got evicted from the apartment. While she was here, she was on the phone with someone, I think it was Tristan, and she was saying that this was all part of her plan." "What plan?" "She said something like she had been planning this transition for over a year, that she needed to maintain financial stability with you while she figured out what she really wanted. She said she never imagined you would just disappear because you were too nice and would always take care of her." Hearing that made me sick to my stomach. She planned this for a year? That is what it sounded like. She was complaining that Tristan does not want to move in with her now because he does not want the ex drama. She sounded annoyed that the plan had gone wrong. So there was the truth. Selena was not confused about what she wanted or going through a rough patch in our relationship. She was systematically planning my replacement, all while using me for financial and emotional support during the transition. She kept me as a safety net while she built her exit strategy. The most satisfying part of Kendra's call came next. "Caleb, I wanted you to know that Mom and I are cutting her off financially. After we found out the truth about what she did to you, we were disgusted. We told her she needs to fix her own problems and that she cannot stay here anymore if she does not start being honest and taking responsibility. She is 26 and needs to learn to take care of herself instead of manipulating people who care about her. Thank you for that, Kendra. She was lying to our whole family for months, making everyone think you were controlling and abusive when you were actually supporting her the entire time. That is not okay. The final confirmation came yesterday when I spoke to the manager at the boutique where Selena works. I had to update my emergency contacts for insurance anyway, so I mentioned that Selena and I had broken up. Oh, what a shame, the manager said. But to be honest, that explains some of her recent behavior. How so? She has been calling in sick a lot more often, and when she does come to work, she spends most of her time on her phone texting. We have had to talk to her about customer complaints where she is distracted and rude to them. How long has this been going on? Since about February, I would say, she replied. Right around the time she started talking about this new boyfriend she was seeing. Even at work, Selena's focus was on her double life, not her responsibilities. She was neglecting her job while I was carrying the financial weight of our life together. Now, I am settled into a small apartment. It is nothing fancy, but it is clean, affordable, and all mine. Ranger loves having his own space again, and to be honest, I am sleeping better than I have in months. I know Selena is struggling now that reality has caught up with her, but that is the consequence of trying to manipulate multiple people for your own convenience. She wanted the freedom of being single while retaining the security of our relationship. And when I found out the truth, she lost both. Final update. It has been over a week since I disappeared from Selena's life, and I am finally ready to share how it all ended. The fallout was even more revealing than the initial discovery and confirmed that leaving the way I did was undoubtedly the right decision. First, a practical update. I am fully settled into my apartment, and the peace of mind that comes with knowing every bill, every piece of furniture, and every responsibility is exclusively mine is incredible. No more wondering if I am being used or supporting someone else's double life. Ranger has adapted perfectly to our new home. He seems calmer too, which makes me think he might have sensed the tension in our old apartment that I was blindly unaware of. But the real end to this story came from Selena's increasingly desperate attempts to win me back when she realized just how much she depended on my stability. Last Thursday, she somehow got my new address. I still do not know how. I have not given it to anyone but my work and the landlord. She showed up at 7 p.m., right as I was getting home from class, standing by my car in the parking lot. Caleb, please, we need to talk. You cannot just throw away 6 years without giving me a chance to explain. I looked at her, this person I thought I knew, and I felt absolutely nothing. No anger, no sadness, no nostalgia, just emptiness. There is nothing to explain, Selena. You made your choices over the last year. Now you have to live with the consequences. But you were lost for a whole year? Lost when you made dating app profiles with our pictures? Lost when you told your family I was controlling? Lost when you planned this transition while I paid all our bills? Her face went pale. She did not expect me to know about the lies to her family or the year-long plan. Who told you that? Does it matter? The point is, I know who you really are now. I know that our entire relationship was just a convenience for you while you figured out what you really wanted. That is not true. I did love you. I still love you. I just needed time to think. She started to cry, but it felt performative, as if she was trying to trigger my protective instincts, not express genuine emotion. It would count if those 6 years were honest. But I have no idea how much of our relationship was real and how much was just you treating me like a life raft. I was not using you. Then why did you keep me around while you were building a relationship with Tristan? Why did you let me pay all our bills while you were asking your family for money? Why did you lie to everyone about our status if you were not gaining something from keeping me in your life? She could not answer any of those questions, which was an answer in itself. The conversation ended with her begging me to reconsider, promising to break up with Tristan, promising to be honest from now on, promising to change. But promises from someone who has been lying for a year are worthless. Selena, even if you were sincere about changing, which I doubt, the trust is completely shattered. I cannot be in a relationship where I constantly have to wonder if you are telling the truth or if you are planning your next exit strategy. So that is it. You are just going to erase 6 years like they meant nothing. I am not erasing 6 years. I am walking away from someone who erased them while pretending to still be in the relationship. That was the last time I saw her. This weekend, I found out from Casey that the situation with Tristan had imploded. Apparently, once he understood the full scope of the drama surrounding Selena's lies and financial manipulation of her live-in partner, he decided he wanted no part of that mess. He told people at a party he thought Selena was genuinely single and would never have gotten involved if he had known the truth about her situation. Now she has lost both relationships and is facing the financial reality of supporting herself alone for the first time in years. Kendra sent me a text yesterday with the final piece of information I needed to close this chapter. Selena moved back in with our parents. She is telling everyone you stole all the furniture and left her financially trapped. But Mom quickly set the record straight. She told her that if she is old enough to lie and cheat, then she is old enough to face the consequences without playing the victim. She keeps asking if we think she should try to win you back, and we keep telling her she should focus on learning to be honest and independent instead of looking for another person to take care of her. That was exactly what I needed to hear. The people who really matter in this situation, the mutual friends and family members who know the truth, see right through Selena's manipulation and the victim role she is trying to play. Looking back, I see so many red flags I ignored. The way she never offered to pay for dates or shared expenses. The way she would get defensive when I asked about her weekend plans. The way she always steered conversations about our future toward what I could provide for her instead of what we could build together. I think this relationship was one-sided for much longer than just the last year. I was just too invested in the idea of what we were building to realize that she was not actually building anything with me. The hardest part of this whole experience was not losing Selena. It was realizing how much I was undervaluing myself. I was so focused on being a good provider and a supportive partner that I never stopped to ask if I was receiving the same devotion in return. I am 28, I have a stable job, and I am finishing my degree. I have my own place, my dog, and friends who genuinely respect me. For the first time in years, I am excited about my own future instead of just trying to maintain someone else's comfort. The right person will not see you as a life raft or a transition plan. They will see you as a partner who deserves honesty. Comment. After listening to Caleb's story, I think the most powerful lesson isn't about the pain of betrayal, but about the strength found in choosing yourself. It's a reminder that your peace and self-respect are non-negotiable. Sometimes, walking away from what's familiar is the only way to move toward the life you truly deserve. So always remember to value yourself enough to set boundaries, because you are the most important investment you will ever make. If you like the stories, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.